Tonight is all about the number 4. Welcome everyone. And tonight is tea time with me, Jay. So, isn't it interesting? I love synchronicities, and this wasn't at all planned because I actually got to today and realised that, I hadn't actually put an event on in Facebook. But I'd been thinking for a couple of weeks about this topic of the 4 Fs. And it just sort of came to me today, oh gosh, it's the 4th of the 4th. So today is, it's of the, the power of the number 4, right? And that is very significant. That energy is really about being grounded, about stability and security. Oh, hi, darling. How are you? Hope you're having a peaceful evening. And so it's about balance, stability, security, and groundedness. And so it's you're excited to learn about the 4 Fs. Well, we'll get there, definitely. So when you think of the number 4 as well, for me, I have 4 children of varying ages, but in terms of our lives as human beings, we have the 4 cardinal directions. We have the 4 elements of earth, air, fire and water. And we have the 4 seasons, obviously, spring, which we're in now, summer, autumn and winter. So it's all about the number 4 today, which I absolutely love, the synchronicity of how that's turned out. But yes, so absolutely, the 4 points of the compass. But what we're actually going to talk about are the 4 Fs, being fight, flight, freeze or fawn. Now, you may be aware, and certainly Adrian has often talked about fight, flight or freeze, and always seems to forget the third one, which he always says, do you remember what it is, Jay? Jay's going to remember what it is. And I do. And then I thought about it as I said, a few weeks ago, and I just thought, do you know what? I'm gonna look it up and look into a little bit more. And I saw the 4th one, which is fawn. So it's fight, flight, freeze and fawn. And I guess I kind of thought, well, obviously we all sort of tend to react in one of those 4 ways when we're faced with stressful situations, a threat, a trauma, or so you can have a deeply rooted trauma which is then triggered later on by slight stresses or nuances that sort of unnerve you. So my thought was kind of like, well, we each react in a different way to these stresses and to these triggers in life. And so I wonder if you know which one is your sort of go-to. What do you tend to do? Do you fight? Do you face it with aggression? Do you sort of want to get out there and sort of have that explosive anger and that temper and that sort of like, I'm gonna get him, and that sort of you're wrong and I'm right way of thinking? Or do you have the flight where you just want to run away from it, you don't want to face it, you run away from the danger, and you deflect and you want to talk about something else, rather than whatever it is at hand, that's the apparent threat? So that's the main two, I guess, is flight and fight, or fight and flight, sorry, got them the wrong way around there. So then we have freeze, and freeze is just not really saying anything. It's going, being unable to move or unable to act and do anything. And then fawn is, well, what's fawn? It's basically people pleasing and avoiding any conflict. So I guess it's similar to freeze, and it's something that has come up later on in terms of the concept, but they would sort of have more performative or surface level conversation, perhaps, if it was in a, if that threat was coming up in a conversational way. So I wonder if you can identify what your sort of go-to is, if there is a go-to for you in terms of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. When you are faced with stress or danger or a trigger from your past or whatever, what do? Do you get angry? And do you get confrontational? Do you run away? Do you sort of hide, or over worry? You struggle to relax, maybe, or do you just freeze in the space and not know what to do, or do you attempt to please the people around you, or whatever has happened to you? So I'm curious, both those are online now, live, and those watching on a replay. So I just actually had a lovely message from Charlotte, mother of one of Kieran's really good friends from infant school, and bless her, she can't make it on live tonight, but she says she often watches and on the replay. And yeah, so Charlotte, if you're here on the replay, let us know what your thoughts are. Do you tend to do fight, flight, freeze, or fawn? And what about you, Adrian? Do you have a way in which you feel that you act when you're faced with a stressful or potentially dangerous situation? I mean, it's, we don't want to focus too much on the negative. I'm just curious. I mean, for me, if I were to say any one of those four, because you can be each of them at different periods of time. But if I were to say there were one in particular that I feel I resonate with when I'm faced with dangerous stresses or triggers, then mine would be flight, because I don't like confrontation. But I have gotten better with managing that kind of a fight or flight response. And I think a lot of it comes from my energy work, of course. So Gail, I can see you peeping in there. How are you doing, Gail? I'm just talking about the 4 Fs: fight, flight, freeze, or fawn, when it comes to your nervous system's way of trying to protect you, which obviously it does come from, and this is one of Adrian's favourite analogies, which is that it comes from a time when our ancestors were faced with wild beasts, and they had this fight or flight sort of programmed into them to run, because everything wanted to eat them, right? So and what I'm saying is that the fight is obviously coming at things from an aggressive perspective, flight is running away from it, freeze is not really knowing what to do, and fawn is being sort of performative and people pleasing. If there's anything that any one of those four that you feel that you tend to have as a response, as an automatic response to a danger. So I wonder if anyone's prepared to talk about that. But anyway, as I say, I would say that in that sort of instinctual way, that my first response would be flight. Mainly because, like I said, I don't like confrontation. I'm not sure why, and I'm not looking at sort of the deep roots of these different responses. I'm not looking at the deep rootedness of the responses, really. Just curious. Anyway, but having said that, in terms of the of me really being more on the flight response, what I do these days more is work on calming myself down so I don't feel it quite as much. So you may have heard us talking about this before as well, but the fight flight response comes from your solar plexus, so your solar plexus is where the adrenal glands are, and when people say listen to your gut, that's often where they mean your solar plexus. That's your intuition, but it's also got your fight or flight there as well. So how do I calm myself in stressful situations where, no, I'm not seeing your comments. Oh, I'm not. I saw you 4 points of the compass, but I haven't seen any since then. That's really weird. And I haven't seen any from Gail either. Normally she says hi when she comes on. But anyway, some kind of glitch in the system. That's okay. So anyway, hopefully I haven't missed anything too important. Do you want to try and send it again and see if it sends again, darling? So what I was saying is how I manage myself. A glitch in the matrix, yeah. How I manage my energy around these natural responses, that instinctual response that comes from your solar plexus of fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Of course, one of my favorite ways to calm myself down is crystals. So I have a few here with me. I have a few crystals here, and actually the reason that Charlotte messaged me was to offer me a crystal, because she's moving house and she no longer wants it. So I might gain another new crystal, a rather large one as well. So yay. But yeah, so we're talking about crystals that we can work with, actually more so on the solar plexus, but actually it doesn't matter. It's whatever you're drawn to when it comes to crystals, whatever works for you in terms of calming you down. Because, for example, if it was something related to family or loved ones, those close to me, I might choose a heart-scented crystal, so a green or a pink crystal. But essentially, I'm focusing now tonight on the solar plexus. So for the solar plexus, We have oh, citrine. It's a beautiful, beautiful citrine. Yeah, really lovely citrine. Citrine is such a positive stone, and yeah, it's always been one of my favorites to work with from the very beginning of working with crystals. And we have tiger's eye. I mean, I do love tiger's eye as well. I have to say, I do really like tiger's eye. I could never really choose favorites too much. I mean, malachite's probably my most favorite. And then we have yellow jasper as well, and we have some pyrite as well. So these all can work with you in your solar plexus for different reasons, and you know, the yellow is more positive and joyful energy. So what do I do with my crystals? Sometimes I just hold them. Sometimes I meditate with them, place them on my body where I feel I need them, or just hold them while I'm meditating. And yeah, another way to relax, and I like to use this at the beginning of my group sessions, it's just breathing. Not just breathing, but breathing, focused breathing. So we can use box breathing or square breathing, however you want to call it. So in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4. Or you can have just a really simple in for 4 and out for 6 or out for 8, depending on how much you've got to release. So just making sure that the out breath is longer than the in breath, and that really can help relax and bring you into a centered space within your own body. And another one, if I'm really, really, really stressed, and I can't remember the name of this one. Someone tell me the name of this one. Oh, you like box breathing, Gail? Good, yeah. And the other one that I like is when you breathe in, you really like scrunch your face up, and then when you breathe out, you relax, and then you might hold your shoulders up and relax. And I love that as well. Just sort of stretching and tensing your arms and your hands, and then releasing. That's really good for like when you've had a really stressful time of it. You just sort of get all that tension and then release it, you know. I find that so releasing and so relieving as well. So yeah. Another thing which is really good, really useful to help you to relax is EFT or tapping. And I'm kind of tempted to sort of have a little go at this on here with you guys, because it is something again that I use with clients in terms of helping them to relax. So this is, say, there's the breathing, different kinds of breathing, or you can use tapping, also known as EFT, and it's just really effective, really simple and really effective. So this is my third thing. So we've got crystals, of course, and mainly the yellow ones due to the solar plexus, but then also breathing in different ways, and EFT or tapping. So if you guys want to do this with me, use whatever hand works best for you. You can use, we're going to use one side of the face or the other, whichever again feels more comfortable for you. And what we're going to do, well, we can use our fingers or we can use a crystal. So I've got a crystal here that I can use, or we can use our fingers. Probably you guys aren't going to have crystals to hand, so let's just use our fingers. You find tapping is a great way to be able to focus. Awesome, Gail. That's fantastic. So if you just place your fingers on the inside of the brow, sort of between the top of your nose and your eyebrow, and just press gently as you breathe in and release as you breathe out. Breathe in gently, breathe in as you press in gently, and breathe out and release. Breathe in and press gently, and release. Now go to the outside of the eyebrow, and again just pressing gently. We're not physically tapping, we're not pushing in or anything, just gentle pressure, okay? And just breathe in and apply a little gentle pressure, and breathe out and release. Breathe in and apply a little bit of pressure. Breathe out and release. Breathe in, apply a little bit of pressure, and release. Now we're going to go underneath your eye, so you can kind of feel this bone here, just on top of that bone, just a little bit in there. Again, gently, very gently. And release. Once again. And one more time. Now we're going to move down to the philtrum, just here, this bit between the nose and the top lip. Again, press in as you breathe in, just gently, not too much pressure, just a gentle pressure. And release. Press in gently. And release. One last time in this position. Now we're going to go to the chin, just here. We might have a little indent here or thereabouts, just below that. Gentle pressure and breathe in. And breathe out. And relieve the pressure. Breathe in, gentle pressure applied. And breathe out. Release. One last time in this position. Breathe in and apply gentle pressure. And breathe out and release. Now one last place. So I've been doing it on the right side of my face, but I'm going to switch over now because we're going to the soft spot. So it's just easier to go the opposite side. So you've got your collarbone here, and you sort of just below that there's a soft spot. If you press on it too much, it might feel like it's like a bruise or something. So you can just use your palm of your hand for pressure there, and just breathe in and apply the pressure. And breathe out and relax. Breathe in, apply pressure. Breathe out, relax. Last time, breathe in and apply pressure. Breathe out and release. So our three we've had so far are crystals, particularly yellow crystals, or whatever you feel drawn to, really, for whatever the stress or threat is related to. Then the second one is breathing in different fashions, different ways. Again, focused breathing, not just breathing, but focused breathing. Even counting to 10 while you breathe, sometimes in the moment, can really just help. And the third one is tapping. Now, I said there's going to be 4, didn't I? There's 4. There are 4. And there's many, many more other ways of dealing with this natural response to stress and tension and threat and the potential threat. But I'm just going to use 4 tonight. So the fourth one is, for me, is self-Reiki and Reiki. Obviously, most people can access Reiki in one way or another. Obviously, having been attuned to Reiki, I can work on myself and I can work on others. And, you know, you can obviously, Adrian loves Reiki. I love Reiki. So I mean, not only can it help you to relax and to ground yourself, it can really help in the moment with aches and pains and things like that, right, Adrian? At the weekend, and I mean, this is just a short example, but at the weekend, Adrian had issues with his jaw and his tooth again, and I channeled Reiki for him in just a few minutes, and I put my hands on his jaws. We were actually in the middle of a restaurant and I put my hands on his jaws and I channeled Reiki, and the pain left and he was able to continue and enjoy the rest of the food. So you're saying don't forget the 3 steps, but I said 4 things. Okay, I'll do a 5th one if you must insist. But anyway, Reiki can really, really help. And even if you look at something simple like the Reiki principles, like just for today, I will not worry is one of them. I can't remember them all, but if you Google Reiki principles, and it's really something awesome for anyone to live by. But would highly recommend experiencing Reiki if you've never experienced it, or if you've had it. Well, if you've had it, you'll know, and you'll appreciate just how great it can be. So okay, there was a fifth one that I had in mind, which actually is related to 3 steps, and that's an energy check-in. So with the 3 steps, it's really, I mean, a lot of people could say, oh, you know, I have the time to do that. You know, it's going to take effort and things to work through it. No, it doesn't need to at all. You can do a really simple energy check-in, and it will also relieve your stress, your anxiety, your your threats, what's threatening your peace of mind and things. Because one, you might be holding someone else's energy. Someone else's energy might be attached to you. So you can release that, and you can then refill with standing in your own power and feeling fulfilled and peaceful and loving and happy and all great things. You know, it can be really as simple as that. Or you can do something even, you know, a more in-depth check-in with going through the chakras and ensuring that they're all in alignment and open and spinning in the right direction. Or you can check if your head, your heart, and your hara are in alignment. And again, when you know, you can align them, you can release anything that's no longer serving you, and you can welcome in and refill with anything and everything that you want to have in your life, whether that's groundedness, stability, security, love, happiness, anything, whatever. But it doesn't need to be anything complex. So let's just do a little energy check-in, just to show you how simple it can be. So you can do this standing up or sitting down, and you can just say, am I holding on to anyone else's energy? And you might feel it somewhere in you, or you might experience it in different ways. You might sway forward for a yes if you're standing, or sway backwards for a no. Whatever you feel within you, you can then release it. You can release it and say, I release any energy that does not belong fully to me. I release it in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I release any and all energy that does not belong to me, and release it in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. I release any and all energy that does not belong to me. I release it in all forms, on all levels, and at all points in time. Nice big deep breath in and out. And then we can do a nice refill, right? I'm ready to allow myself to stand fully in my own power, in my own energy, to be stable, grounded, secure, happy, and living in love. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and through all points in time. I'm ready to allow myself to fully stand in my own power, in my own energy, to be grounded, safe, and secure, to live a life of fulfillment, and to live a life in love. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and through all points in time. I am ready to stand firmly in my own energy, to be empowered, to be safe, secure, and stable, to live a life of fulfillment and a life full of love. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, and through all points in time. So there we go. So I've got my crystals here. I've got my, I like this one, Tiger's Eye. Oh, actually, so Gail, I think you've got some Tiger's Eye as well. So if you're doing tapping and stuff, you can use the crystal. You can just use the edge of the crystal. Might just add a little bit of extra oomph to your tapping. So if you've got a particular intention aligned with the crystals that you've wanted to focus on, you could use them as well. So just use the corner of the crystal, and obviously be gentle with yourself. And just, you know, tap, etc. Yeah. So yeah. Oh, we're all going to feel nice and relaxed tonight. No stress, no drama. How's everyone feeling now? Yeah. Tiger's Eye is very pretty. Yeah. I don't know, there's lots of glitches on here tonight, so I'm just gonna choose a mantra. We do choose mantra after my group sessions each week, and it's always so spot on. Oh, it's so funny because last night we did a journey with selenite and angelite, and the mantras that came up were related to the throat chakra and the crown chakra, and those crystals are related to the crown chakra and the throat chakra. So, and it'll be interesting to see what comes up tonight. I'll say that and it'll be nothing related, so that'll be another glitch in the matrix. But maybe it won't seem related, but maybe it will come to us later on, even if it doesn't seem related. Let's have a look. Right. Oh, I've had two come out. Throat. Both are throat. Okay. Interesting. So I am open, clear, and honest in my communication. I am open, clear, and honest in my communication. I live with integrity and speak my truth. I live with integrity and speak my truth. So perhaps it doesn't necessarily have so much to do with the solar plexus. However, I guess it's all related somehow. So these are good things anyway to take us through the next week. I'm open, clear, and honest in my communication. I live with integrity and speak my truth. There we go. I mean, I like these ones myself. So basically, I've got to practice what I preach, and continue to speak my truth. Maybe even in spite of the fight, flight, freeze, and fawn response that I might fail. Maybe that's it. Maybe we should continue to be open, clear, and honest in our communication, and to practice what we preach and speak our truth, even in spite of how we might fail, how we might want to fight or hide or just freeze or placate people. Maybe that's what it is. That makes sense to me. Maybe it does to you too. Anyway. And don't forget, it's a full moon tomorrow night. Those of you that have our newsletter will obviously know that already, because you'll have seen Adrian's astrological highlights on there. And if you haven't got our newsletter, then why not go and sign up? And you'll get some nice discounts on there for our crystal collections and for our upcoming workshops as well. You will also get some further insight into the crystal of the month, and yeah, this month as well we've focused on well, I better not give you too much information because that's for the newsletter subscribers, right? So go ahead and subscribe, and you'll get lots of goodies and lots of fun things, lots of fun facts and inspiration in there. So yeah, look out as well for information on our upcoming workshops towards the end of the month or possibly beginning of next. And yeah, the first one is something about stepping out of the drama and into inner peace. Doesn't that sound awesome? So that's really relevant as well in terms of what we've been talking about tonight. So come along, see what it's about, and I'm sure we'll have fun along the way. All right, guys, I'm gonna go and wish you a fantastic week ahead, and we look forward to seeing Adrian this time next week with whatever insightful topic he has to bring us. Okay, guys, have a great week and live in love.